It's time for this week's Buzzer Beaters. Listen as our experts pick the results of 5 local games. Buzzer Beaters, every week exclusively on the Southwestern Indiana Sports Network.
Hey everyone, Joey Chestnut here, world champion competitive eater. I follow Southwest Indiana Sports Network, and if you're hungry for sports, you should follow them too.
Follow the Southwest Indiana Sports Network at swisportsnetwork.com or search Roku for our channel at SW Indiana Sports Network.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
This week's buzzer beater results are Brad Albrand with All-Star Sports was 2-3 and got to score points for the week for a total of 3 points. Kim Woodward at the Kim Woodward Agency of American Family Insurance was 2-3 and has 2 points. Daryl Land with Redemption Christian Church was 1-4 with 1 point. And last week's celebrity picker, Kevin Cartwright, came in at 1-4 for 1 point. This week's celebrity picker is Heritage Hills and Purdue great John Goldsberry.
Life's better under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you work so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Welcome to Buzzer Beaters. And we're joined by Kim Woodward at Kim Woodward Agency of American Family Insurance. Kim, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Joe. How are you doing?
Doing really good. You know, Melissa and I have been talking about getting another car, and we know the person to call is Kim Woodward Agency.
Yeah, absolutely. We have the different lines of insurance that we have here would be your auto insurance, your home insurance. We have business, and we also do life insurance.
And also, you can also get online and get your quotes that way too, right?
You can, yes. If you can get on to AmericanFamily.com, or you can actually just visit my website, which is at KimberlyWoodwardAgency.com. You can go in there and get a quote, and then if you end up having policies with American Family, you can also view your account, which will allow you to make payments online, file a claim online. You can even add your own vehicles on the application.
And, you know, we've been a customer of yours for a long, long time, and the great thing is if you need a question answered, it gets answered right away. So we appreciate that.
Yes, yeah, we try our best. It's, you know, when you have an agency who's local, you know, you get that local feel, you get that service that you want. You know, that somebody's always here. You walk in and you see a face. You don't just are talking to a phone. You know, you have somebody that you can come in and actually talk to.
And if you don't want to get on the computer, if you just want to call and get a quote, what's the phone number there to call?
The phone number is 812-482-5157.
5157. Okay. And the standings last week, Brad Albrand at All-Star Sports with 3 points. You got 2 points. Kim Woodward at American Family Insurance. And Redemption Christian Church got 1. And our celebrity picker, Kevin Cartwright, got 1. So it's...
We didn't do so bad.
Didn't do so bad, exactly. So are you ready to pick for this week?
Yeah, we are.
Okay. Game 1 is Jasper at Harrison.
We are definitely going to pick Jasper.
And Game 2 is Tell City at Heritage Hills.
We're going to go with Heritage Hills.
And Game 3 is Boonville at Southridge.
Yeah, we are going to pick the Raiders on this.
Game 4 is the game that everyone keeps asking me why I've got it on there. It's because we cover North Davies on the Southwest Indiana Sports Network. North Davies at North Central.
We're going with North Davies.
And Perry Central at Forest Park is our score game.
We're going to do Perry Central, and we're going to do the score of 21-14.
21-14. Well, Kim, those look like good picks, and good luck on advancing up from second place to first place this week.
All right, thank you, Joe.
And you can listen to the Buzzer Beaters on South Louisiana Sports Network, powered by Northern Roseburg Communications. And we're back on Buzzer Beaters, and we're joined by Daryl Land at Redemption Christian Church. Daryl, how you doing today?
Doing great. It's a fantastic day, and trying to stay sheltered from this incredible heat.
Exactly. I you know, and we don't even have football uniforms on.
No, exactly. Can't imagine that. So
yeah, and as a matter of fact, as the week went on, it seemed like a lot of JV games and freshman games were canceled this week.
Yeah, my son's JV, Jasper game JV is canceled, and they've moved practices to early in the morning to beat the heat. And so, yeah, it's a different kind of week. Hopefully this will be the only week like this.
Exactly. You know, Redemption Christian Church has a lot of different events, and I've read recently about the 10-week discipleship study. Why don't you go over that for us?
Yeah, you know, I've been doing ministry for over 30 years, and I've not seen a greater tool at growing faith, no matter whether you're a beginner or a long-time Christian, than this Rooted Discipleship Program. It's a 10-week discipleship study, but it's more than a study. It's an experience. It involves daily devotionals, like 45 devotionals, and then you get together each week with your group, and you work through those, and you talk about those. And there's some elements in there, a prayer night and some experiences of serving in your community. There's just a lot of different aspects it takes. You learn about God, but then you also put it into action, and it's really focused on the themes of connecting with God, connecting with the church, and connecting with your purpose. So I would encourage anyone to think about signing up for it. You don't have to be a Redemption partner by any means to do that. We'll kick that off on November 19th, and you can register through our app, through our website. Give us a call. It's pretty awesome. I'm sorry, I said November 19th. I had the wrong date. September 10th through November 19th is what it lasts. So it'll start on September 10th.
And then I'm sure we'll talk about this next week, but at your Tell City campus, you've got a singer-songwriter, John Tibbs, coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. And we actually sing one of the songs in our worship service that he wrote, and so it's kind of cool to have him in there, and does a great job. And so looking forward to having somebody like him in to lead us in some songs and to sing some songs, just have a good concert.
And the standings for after week one were All-Star Sports with 3 points, American Family Insurance Kim Woodward Agency with 2, Redemption with 1, and our celebrity picker, who was Kevin Cartwright last week, is with 1. And this week it's going to be John Goldsberry is going to be picking for the celebrities.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then are you ready to get picking?
We'll do her.
Okay, we got Jasper at Harrison.
Yeah, absolutely. Jasper at Harrison. I think Jasper bounces back from their week 1 loss, and I'm going to say we're going to see a score of 24-10.
24-10. Okay. And Tell City at Heritage Hills.
Yeah, I mean, this Heritage Hills team is going to be a tough one. I know Tell City got a win there, too, against county rival, but I'm going to pick Heritage Hills 42-30. High-scoring affair there.
Yeah, oh, yeah. And with the running backs both teams have, it probably will be so.
Yeah.
Okay, in Game 3, we've got Boonville at Southridge.
Boonville at Southridge. Well, Boonville looked good in week 1. I think they played the Bailey Rams, maybe. Or I don't remember who they played, but they felt good. Southridge needs to bounce back. I'm going to go with Southridge on this one, and let's say score 21-16.
21-16. Game 4, North Davies at North Central.
Wow. Don't know a lot about either team much, but I'm going to go with the team I'm most familiar with, North Davies, and we'll say they're going to win. Let's say 24-14.
24-14, and in the last game, Perry Central at Forest Park.
Yeah, Perry Central. I think they lost against a good Tell City team, so they're pretty good. Forest Park had a big win against Princeton. I'm going to give the edge to Perry Central on this one. Let's say 24-14.
24-14. Well, Daryl, looks like some good picks, and good luck. And if you, and those of you listening, go sign up for Rooted.
Yep. Thank you. Appreciate it. You have a good week. We'll look forward to talking to you next week.
And you're listening to Buzzer Beaters on the Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by Milligan Western Communications. We'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors.
When you think sporting goods, think no further than All Star Sports in Ferdinand. Custom embroidery, screen printing, team uniforms, sports equipment, and sports apparel and shoes. We have it all. Give Brad a call today at 812-367-1618 or visit them in the Country Plaza Shopping Center in Ferdinand. All Star Sports is open Monday through Friday 10 to 7 and Saturday 9 to 4. All Star Sports, when you're thinking sporting goods.
Welcome back to Buzzer Beaters, and we're joined by the leader on the leaderboard, Brad Albrandt at All Star Sports. Brad, how you doing today?
Joe, I'm doing great, thank you. How are you doing?
Good. You picked 2 games right last week, and you got the Southridge Heritage Hills game right last week, and you picked the score. So you got a 3-point lead. You scored 3. American Family Kim Woodward scored 2. Redemption Christian Church scored 1, and Kevin Cartwright, our celebrity picker, only picked 1 right. So,
well, you know what? As we talked last week, the first week out of the gate, it's kind of a crapshoot. I guess in hindsight, I should have gone with all 5 home teams. I probably would have been 5-0. So we'll see if we can do a little better this week.
Well, I watched that Heritage Hills Southridge game, and I'll tell you what, Jet Goldsberry beat the kind of quarterback that would be a nightmare for a defensive back because he's a running back too. He can run the ball too. So
yes, he is. He's a nice athlete. He's got pretty good lineage. His dad was a heck of a player back in the day, and it's good to see local kids do well for sure.
And being a defensive back, what do you do? Do you play pass? Do you play pass defense, or do you go? Or if he rolls out, do you go get him, or what? Or does he run for 50 yards?
Joe, I think I played defensive back in my day, and I think it's a lot of film study. Obviously, as the season goes on, he'll have some tendencies. What his looks are when he's going to tuck it and run, and when he's going to pull up and pass. That's just going to be maybe some help over the top, but it's definitely going to be an interesting season for the Patriots.
And I know you do a lot for schools in the area, but also, what are some of the corporate business opportunities you have?
Joe, I'm glad you asked. I do, as you mentioned, we talked last week. We do any sport for all the county schools, also Heritage Hills. We do stuff for Perry Central, and that's our core business. Especially in the fall, we've got a lot of sports going on, and we try to take care of our customers every day. For walk-in business from a retail perspective, and also we do some online resource for schools. But one of the folks that we're looking at for this year is on the corporate side. We do a lot of local businesses where they do promotional shirts, or if they have, we do some stuff with like the Strawson Fest Parade, and we do, a lot of the local businesses have some incentive programs for their employees where they accumulate points to get, sportswear for whether it's a bank or the hospital or just, car dealerships, anywhere in the area that where companies provide, whether it's polos or jackets or whatever, or hats for their employees. It's really a nice piece of business for us, and I feel that we're one of the best in the area of getting it done lead time wise and quality, and that's really been a focus for me in this year, and we'll continue to be, not losing sight of the school business, because as I said, that's the core part of our business, but it's also nice to help out the corporate side as well.
So if you have a business out there, call Brad. He'll take care of you.
Absolutely.
Now, are you ready to defend your title and pick?
See if we can keep on top of the board coming into week 3. So let's go ahead with the games.
Okay. The first game is Jasper at Harrison.
Well, Joe, I took the Wildcats last week on the road and didn't have a great showing, but I do believe they're going to bounce back this week. As I mentioned last week, I do have a son on the team, and I know with the heat, it's going to be a challenging week of practice. They've been going at 5:45 in the morning to get the boys out before the heat gets them. Unfortunately, I did hear some bad news on Griffin Heil. Obviously, my heart goes out to him. He's got a season-ending injury, and I went through the same with my son a few years ago. And obviously, my thoughts are with Griffin Heil and his family. I'm going to take the Wildcats on the road. Griffin's a great kid. He's by far our biggest lineman. But somebody's got to step up. It's going to give another kid an opportunity. We may, a couple kids may be forced to going both ways, but for sure, it's a big loss.
In game 2, we've got Tell City at Heritage Hills.
Well, I'm going to say with the Patriots. I know Tell City had a big win last week against Perry Central, a game that I got wrong, but and people that I've talked to that were at the game, Heritage Hills had a real nice showing against Southridge, and I think they'll continue to roll this weekend, and I'm going to go with the Patriots.
Boonville at Southridge.
Southridge, I think, had a disappointing game last week. I talked to Coach Beanie yesterday, and I think they're going to bounce back. Coach does a nice job over there. The kids buy into his program, and I'm not sure the last time Southridge lost 2 football games in a row, especially their first game at home. I'm going to take the Raiders.
And North Davies at North Central.
Well, Joe, that's a game I know very little about either team. I do know North Davies had a big win last week against Washington. It's a tough one. It's going to be a toss-up. I'm going to take North Central at home simply because early in the year, home field I think plays a big role. Again, just a crapshoot. Don't know much about either team. I'm taking North Central.
And our score game is Perry Central at Forest Park.
The Rangers coming off a big win last weekend against Princeton, and people I've talked to said they look good. And I know Perry Central had a tough game last week in Stuff City. At home, I'm going to take the Rangers to go 2-0. Start the 2023 season.
And a score on that one.
I'm going to take the Rangers 28, Perry Central 7.
28-7. That looks like some good picks there. And our guests, I already told you our guest celebrity will be this week, John Goldsberry. So he'll be on the show at last. And Brad, good luck. And just as I said, if you're a corporate business out there and you've got some needs of some stuff, give Brad a call. Brad,
I appreciate it, Joe. Yeah, my cell phone number is area code 812-630-0427, or you can call my store, 812-367-1618.
Well, Brad, good luck with your picks this week.
Hey, thanks, Joe. Have a great weekend.
And you're listening to Buzzing Beaters. And you're listening to Buzzing Beaters on the Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by Northern Rutherford Communications. We'll be back after these messages from our sponsors.
Wanting to scan those old videos, films, or audio to DVD? We'll look no further than Milligan Communications. We can also scan your old pictures, slides, and negatives to picture quality as well. With thousands of happy customers, let Milligan Communications help put your treasured memories on a digital media. Call Milligan Communications today at 812-630-2449. Milligan Communications, capturing your yesterdays.
And welcome back to Buzzer Beaters, and we're joined by our celebrity picker for the week, Heritage Hills and Purdue great, John Goldsberry. John, how you doing?
Doing great, Joe. Thanks for having me.
Or also known as the G Train.
The G Train's a little washed up these days, but I think I always tell people I got one more play in me.
So is Jet the J Train?
I don't know that he's got too many nicknames yet. We call him Jetman here at home, but he may have some other nicknames as well. But you know how that goes. I mean, you can get nicknames several ways. Hopefully he's getting them in good ways and not bad ways. And he's doing well so far. The kid works very hard. I'm proud of him. And I think he's going to continue to do good things as long as he stays healthy.
We all know that you're the dad of Jet, but we're not talking about Jet. We're going to talk about John Goldsberry for a while here. And, what has John Goldsberry been up to since he left Purdue?
Well, played football at Purdue for 5 years. I had a medical red shirt, so I got an extra minor in organizational leadership and supervision, and took advantage of that extra year and had some great opportunities and played in 5 bowl games. Well, I should say I went to 5 bowl games. I played in 4 of them. So great experience at Purdue. And then, I went on to play fullback and special teams a little bit in the NFL and bounced around from the Buffalo Bills to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and then to the Chicago Bears over, a 2.5, 3 year span. And from there, my wife was pregnant and I was 7 surgeries deep, and it was time to hang it up and hit the real world. And so from there, started using my digital marketing and computer graphics and programming education, and started a new job. Bounced around a few different times in Nashville with a couple different companies. Ended up moving back up here to Indiana in 2011. Had a job with National Office Furniture in the marketing department. And then about 9 years ago, Ken Molzer Jr. gave me a phone call and we met up, and he offered me a sales role with Molzer Crushed Stone. So now I sell limestone, sand, and gravel all over southern Indiana, Ohio, all throughout the Ohio Valley. So it's been good, and everything's going well. And so if you ask me what I'm doing today, I'm usually working and chasing kids. It's nonstop.
Exactly. Now, you're our celebrity picker of the week, so you get to pick the games. Will you beat Kevin Cartwright?
Absolutely. And I'm gonna go ahead and say this. If you would have gave Kevin 40 tries, he probably would have got a little more yardage out of those picks. And I say that jokingly because, man, they gave that guy the ball a lot in high school. So he was probably too tired to make the picks.
Exactly. He's still resting up from his playing days.
All love, Kevin. All love.
Okay, you ready to pick the games?
Yes, sir.
Okay, first game is, and you don't have to get a score, but the last one, okay?
All right.
Is Jasper at Harrison?
Jasper all day long. Harrison's going to show up. They're going to have some good athletes, but just overall as a program, I think Jasper's going to pull that win off. We scrimmaged them. They get some big, strong kids. They're fast. I know they struggled a little bit against Memorial, but as you guys know and everybody knows, Memorial's going to be good every season, and you never know what that game's going to look like. So I know they lost the opener there, but I think they come back and capitalize this week against Harrison.
And the interesting thing about that is I was talking to Brad Albrand, does our show too, with All Star Sports, and I didn't know this until he told me that Isle is out for the year. He has a season-ending injury.
Yeah, that's a bummer. That's not good for anybody. I hate to hear that because he's a great kid. I was not aware of that. Saw him at a couple camps this summer, actually, with Jet, and I know he's got tons of potential. Hopefully he'll get healed up. And, even with that said, I still think Jasper's going to pull that one off. Okay, game 2 is Tell City versus Heritage Hills. Answer for that one, you already know the answer. Yeah, okay. Heritage Hills Patriots all day long. Oh, I was going to say, are you going to take it Del City or what? I'm going to call Malin right now and tell him that you picked Del City on that one. I got to go with my Patriots all day long. Tell City's got some studs, man. Landon and Noah Terry. I wish, any coach that's ever seen those kids run track or wrestle or play football would take 20 of them in a heartbeat. Those guys are some studs. Obviously Tell City has their struggles at times. A lot of it's going to boil down to size and overall team speed, not just two guys. And I think that's where we're going to gain the ground on them. I think we got great team speed. We've got some great size on the line, and I think that's going to be the difference in that game. And then game 3 is Boonville at Southridge. This one's going to be tough, man. It's going to be a toss-up. They're both very good programs. I know Southridge did not play as well as they wanted to against us last week, but I also know Coach Scott's going to have them ready. They got a great program, a great tradition. They've got some kids that are very good athletes. They're gritty, they're fast, they're aggressive. You know, they're either gonna be in that fight or flight stage, and hopefully, you know, as a guy that loves football and loves football players, hopefully they fight and they don't flight. You know, hopefully they show up and they come back and play harder. Boonville, you know, obviously they lost some key players, but they've still got some very good talent on the field. Great coaching over there with Darren Ward, and it's going to be a battle. But my gut says go Raiders.
Okay,
that's my gut. We'll go with Southridge.
Okay, and Game 4 is the game that everyone's complaining about. Why did you put this on here? It's because we do cover North Davies, so that's why they're on there. North Davies at North Central.
I'm going with North Davies. You know, I don't get up there and watch much. I don't know that I've ever seen North Central Farmersburg play. But when I started my football camps, you know, 6, 7, 8 years ago, however long it's been now, North Davies brought their entire team to my first football camp. Or I should say almost their entire team. Anybody that wanted to go, they brought them. And so simply because they supported me, I'm going to support them, and I think they're going to pull off the win. Go Cougars.
North Davies, okay. And then the fifth game is the score game, Perry Central at Forest Park.
You know, usually I'd look at this one and it might be a toss-up because you never know what you're going to get. They're both smaller schools, obviously, but they have their years where they get some good players and they're playing well. Forest Park's been playing pretty well, but Sawyer, and I may say I'm going to butcher his name here, but Sawyer Gillamy or Gilliam. There you go. Sawyer Gilliam is the real deal. I've watched him run track. You know, you've been hearing about this kid for years. I think he had 280 yards or something last week. I just don't see them stopping him. He's going to be a threat as long as he's healthy, and he's going to be a threat every game. So we'll go with the Commodores on that one, and I'm going to call that let's go with 38-10.
38-10.
38-10, Perry Central, just throwing a number out there.
Yeah, the one thing I noticed about last week, you know, looking at the stats, Forest Park did not have to throw. I guess they didn't have to because they did not throw the ball very much.
Yeah, I didn't see much of their game or their stats, so I'm not really sure. I don't know. You know, it's like I told you before we did this. You know, I'm one of those guys that I don't pay too much attention to other teams. I like to focus on ourselves and our own team and how we can get better and how we can execute better. And, you know, I think, you know, I'm a firm believer that if you do those things, you don't have to worry about what other people are doing so much. So, you know, I check scores a little bit here and there and keep an eye on guys. But for the most part, I'm one of those guys that wants to know how can we get Jet better? How can we get our line better? How can we get, you know, what can we do here at Heritage Hills to put our kids in a position to be successful? Off the field and on the field, and you know, communicate those things to them to support them and help them out in that way. So, you know, it's not no offense to any of those other schools. It's just kind of my train of thought, and you know, it's like Bill Belichick used to say, "Do your job." You know, if you do your job, things take care of themselves, and your job's not always to worry about what everybody else is doing.
Well, John, great picks, and we look forward to seeing the results of this week's games.
All right, Joe. Thanks for having me, man. Good luck to everybody out there, and good luck with the rest of your shows.
Well, and you've been listening to Buzzer Beaters on the Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by Milligan Brothers Communications. We'll see you next week.